I was automatically gonna call you Homegirl Pelosi because that's what I say on my content.
Okay, as you
But
wish.
no, out of respect, of course. Madam Speaker Emerita, welcome to What the Heck is Going On? We want to talk about Medicaid. What the heck is going on with Medicaid and these severe cuts?
What the heck is going on with Medicaid shouldn't be happening. With Medicaid, we're affecting every aspect of our society, starting with the children. And if that were just the only reason to have Medicaid, that would be fully justified. But it's for our seniors, for long term care. Much of that money comes from from Medicaid to pay for that. And then, of course, the people with disabilities. So many homes in America, tens of millions of families in America are affected by these cuts in Medicaid. And so, what the heck is going on with that? Is an engineering by the Republicans to cut government and governance because they don't believe in it. They didn't vote for Social Security, they didn't vote for Medicare, they didn't vote for Medicaid.
Okay, so for the children is your whole entity.
That's it, yes.
40 million children rely on Medicaid. I was a Medicaid kid. What is the reality of what can happen for these children?
Well, they will not have access to care. Now we have to fight this, and we don't agonize, we organize. And what we're doing are making calls. We had 140,000 in just a few weeks in our California calls because people have to know. If people know, Lincoln said, public sentiment is everything. With it, you can do almost anything. Without it, practically nothing. But for public sentiment to prevail, people have to know. So we have to make sure people know, and when they do, not to vote for these people who vote for this bill, and hopefully have enough pull off that this cannot prevail. But this is not what in California, the Republicans are pretty conservative who are there. Over 60% of them support Medicaid. And around the country, it's high. It's in the 70s when you talk about other than Republicans. So this is a bad place for them to go. Now they're misrepresenting. They're saying we want work requirements. They said the one thing that got me was that they said, well, we changed it from 6 years old to 7 years old. If a mom has a child who's 7 years old, she should go to work. Oh, really? A 7-year-old can stay home alone if the child is sick and can't go to school, and you can't afford childcare, and you can't take a day off because you can't afford that, and you take too many days off and you don't have a job anymore. So it is. This goes right to the heart of the family, this Medicaid pitch. It's an act of cruelty on the part of the Republicans.
And they used to be for Medicaid, 1965 when it was implemented, Medicaid, Medicare. I believe it was 65 members in the House of Representatives, Republicans voted in favor of Medicaid and Medicare, and half of the Republicans in the Senate. How did we get here in terms of...
Well, that's not very many.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not very many.
I know, but we have none now, so...
No, that's not very many. And the fact is that people have to understand that they don't believe in science. The science says a child needs this kind of care and the rest, especially a child who might be physically challenged. And governance wants to help provide for that. Those two no's do not make a yes. No governance and no science and no money for Medicaid. And it's really a most unfortunate thing because it affects so many people in our society.
Yeah, absolutely. Seniors, disabled, children, you name it.
And not only that, if you're in a rural area and they cut off the Medicaid to that rural hospital, and even if you're not on Medicaid, you ain't got no access to any hospital because it's now closed because they withdrew the Medicaid funding. So even if you're not on it, you're affected by this cruel policy.
So they can only lose 4 in the Senate. Do you believe if people call their senators, get involved, we can stop this thing?
Well, I can't speak to the Senate. I understand the House. Yes, I do believe that nothing is more eloquent to a member of Congress than the voice of their own constituents. So we're saying to people, don't call us, call your friend who lives in a Republican state or a Republican district, and have that person speak to his or her own member of Congress or member of the Senate, because that's the voice that they will pay attention to. And again, as I say, Justin, for a couple of weeks of calling, and Team Pelosi joining with others in California, 140,000 calls. wow, and now more to come. But that was the running start with so many people north and south in California having their own way of doing it. So we always respect the local.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a California girl, so I'm from the Bay Area. So thank you so much, Madam
Yeah,
Speaker. It's been an
okay.
absolute pleasure. Thank you. Appreciate it beyond measure.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. Again, we don't agonize, we organize. An
Organize.
important point is we can only do so much here in our inside maneuvering. Our outside mobilization makes all the difference. So
You heard it.
just win,
Heard it,
baby.
everyone. Just win, baby. Just